There's a hidden message playing at Disney World's train station right now, and most guests never hear it. But we're going to decode it together. After years of exploring the parks and chatting with cast members, I've collected secrets that will change how you plan your trip. In this episode, we'll reveal 10 Disney World secrets never told to guests, one by one. From debunking myths about Magic Kingdom tunnels to finding the best spots for fireworks. Stick around, because missing even one of these could mean wasting hours in line or walking right past something magical you'll regret missing later. Number 1. Debunking myths about the famous utilidors. When people imagine Walt Disney World's famed utilidor system, they picture miles of subterranean tunnels stretching under the entire resort. The truth is much more practical and less expansive. The largest utilidor network lives just under Magic Kingdom, and it was built at ground level because Florida's high water table makes digging deep impossible. Smaller, isolated utilidor segments exist under Epcot's Future World and the permanently closed Pleasure Island. But there isn't a sprawling labyrinth beneath every park. This design means that when you walk down Main Street, USA, you're actually on the second floor, gradually rising about 15 feet above the utilidors. Another myth paints the utilidors as a glamorous underground city, but former cast members describe them as functional and occasionally grimy. One insider notes that the tunnels smell like garbage in locker rooms, and the automated vacuum collection system can drip tunnel juice as it sucks trash through the pneumatic tubes. They're more industrial than magical. Yet, they are packed with essential services. Beneath the park, you'll find the Mousqueteria, a cafeteria where Snow White and Gaston grab lunch. Kingdom Cutters, a cast member hair salon, and the Glow Room, where carts of glowing bracelets and ears are prepped. There's even a control hub for DAX, the system that oversees parades, lighting, and audio across the park. Break rooms, locker rooms, and a sound effects room, home to the Haunted Mansion's howling dogs, provide cast members a place to recharge. Despite the rumors, no one sleeps down there. The utilidors are a workplace, not a dormitory. And what about the notorious Disney jail? Many guests imagine a dungeon hidden in the tunnels, but in reality, the so-called jail is simply a holding room in each park security office. There are no cells, bunk beds, or overnight stays. Guests are only taken there briefly if they break serious rules. As for touring the utilidors, they're off limits unless you book Disney's Keys to the Kingdom tour. So while the utilidors are fascinating, they're built for efficiency, not for fulfilling urban legends. Number 2. Eco-friendly benches made from recycled milk jugs. Ever notice the benches at Disney's Animal Kingdom? They're not your typical wooden seats. They're a quiet triumph of sustainability. Instead of logging new trees, Disney crafted many of them from recycled plastic, specifically milk jugs. According to multiple park resources, these benches, and some tables, are made from recycled milk containers. Some sources estimate each bench uses over 1,300 plastic jugs. Why does this matter to you? First, those benches are surprisingly comfortable. They flex slightly and don't splinter. Second, they're resistant to Florida's humid climate. On a deeper level, they show that Disney's environmental messaging isn't just a marketing strategy. The park not only teaches guests about conservation, but Disney also invests in it. Next time you sit down near the Tree of Life to enjoy a snack, feel good knowing you're perched atop what used to be gallons of milk. It's a little detail that guests rarely notice, but it reflects Disney's commitment to reducing waste. There's also a practical tip hidden here. Since the benches are plastic, they don't absorb heat like metal or wood. On a blazing summer day, Animal Kingdom's benches remain cooler to the touch. When you're hunting for a shady break, these benches provide a comfortable respite. Grab a seat near the Discovery River and watch the flotillas go by while you charge up. Spoiler alert, we have a charging secret coming up. But before we jump into tech conveniences, let's look at a magical farewell most visitors never see. Number 3. The Kiss Goodnight. A secret show at closing. You've spent the day at Magic Kingdom hugging Mickey, riding Space Mountain, and stuffing yourself with Dole Whips and Mickey pretzels. When the park closes, most guests make a beeline for the buses or monorail, but What if I told you that the real finale happens about 30 minutes after the exit announcements? It's called The Kiss Goodnight, and it's Disney's tender send-off to the few who linger. Like an Easter egg hidden in a movie's closing credits, Magic Kingdom has a little surprise for those guests who have lingered a bit longer. The lights on Cinderella Castle begin to twinkle, soft notes of When You Wish Upon a Star drift through the speakers, and a narrator's gentle voice thanks guests for coming, wishing them a good night. The narration includes portions of Roy Disney's 1971 dedication speech for Walt Disney World. This dreamy vignette lasts just over 2 minutes and repeats about every half hour after closing. An official Plan Disney answer confirms that The Kiss Goodnight is unscheduled and isn't widely advertised. It happens roughly half an hour after the published closing time and often goes unnoticed. Also, it may not occur on nights with special ticketed events like after hours or holiday parties. The magic lies in its spontaneity. 1 minute the park is closed, the next the castle is shimmering, giving you goosebumps as you soak in those final moments. It's the most private way to experience Cinderella Castle. The crowds have thinned to a handful of diehards, so you can stand in the hub with nearly nobody in front of you. The Kiss Goodnight means you don't have to rush out at closing. Hang back, savor the atmosphere, and you'll avoid the worst of the exit crowds. There's also a pragmatic bonus. While others are jammed onto the monorail or the buses, you'll find shorter lines at the bus stops. Once you leave the park, it's like getting an extra show and an easier exit all in one. Plan your souvenirs earlier so you're not stuck shopping during this beautiful moment. Now that your exit strategy is flawless, let's talk about a secret rule that catches most first-timers off guard. Certain spots in the park are off limits, even if they look like a perfect place to watch the fireworks. Number 4, you can't sit anywhere you want, even if it looks like you can. Disney World feels relaxed, but when it comes to sitting, there are some very firm, very intentional rules, and this one catches a lot of guests off guard. Just because something looks like a bench, a ledge, a curb, or a perfectly flat surface does not mean you're allowed to sit on it, ever. During fireworks especially, Disney is strict about this. Guests are not allowed to sit on the ground in most open walkways or hub areas, even if you see other people doing it for a few minutes. Cast members will eventually ask you to stand, not because they're being picky, but because sitting guests create tripping hazards when the lights go down, and crowds start moving. The same goes for curbs, planter edges, and decorative borders. They're part of the show set, not seating. And those castle facades, statues, railings, and themed walls? Absolutely not seats. Many of them are not even load-bearing. They're part of crowd control flow or designed to break if too much weight is put on them. Disney would rather gently move you along than shut down an entire area or deal with an injury, which is why cast members are trained to intervene quickly, even if the spot looks harmless. What really surprises first-timers is that Disney designs this on purpose. You'll notice that real benches have armrests, sloped backs, or odd spacing. That's intentional. Anything meant for sitting is clearly defined. Anything else is meant to keep guests moving, standing, or flowing safely through the space. The takeaway? If it doesn't look like an obvious bench, don't assume it's fair game. When in doubt, ask a cast member or move to a designated seating area. Disney's rules aren't about control, they're about safety, show quality, and keeping the magic intact. And speaking of things Disney doesn't want you to notice, let's talk about a color designed to disappear completely from your view. Number 5, Go Away Green is a real color. Ever notice how certain backstage doors, buildings, and fences at Disney parks seem to vanish into the background? They're not always hidden behind fake facades. They're painted in a color scheme known as Go Away Green. According to a description by Imagineers, Go Away Green isn't a single shade, but a range of muted greens, browns, and grays used to camouflage utilitarian structures. It's intentionally neutral and slightly dull. Walt Disney's design team found that this color palette makes objects blend into foliage and recede from the eye, allowing guests to focus on show elements like castles and mountains. Examples abound. The massive Soarin' show building in Epcot is painted Go Away Green, so it blends with the horizon. Speakers, fence, the lampposts throughout Magic Kingdom share a similar hue. When you pass under a bridge and see a maintenance store painted a drab green, you're witnessing Disney's psychological trick. The lesson for parkgoers: when you think Disney's magic is all about big set pieces, remember that subtler design choices, like the paint on a door, contribute to the immersion. If you want to feel like a true insider, start spotting Go Away Green. It's a fun game for kids and adults, and once you see it, you won't stop noticing it. Now, let's flip the script. While Go Away Green hides things, our next tip reveals the best place to watch fireworks, and it's not where you might think. Number 6, the best fireworks views are behind the castle. Conventional wisdom says to watch Happily Ever After from the hub in front of Cinderella Castle. And yes, that's the classic postcard view, but for your second viewing, or if you love feeling like you're inside the show, head to Fantasyland behind the castle. The Disney tourist blog points out that watching from behind offers a totally different perspective. You're surrounded by bursts, both in front of you and behind you, with pyro launching over Beast's castle and around the moat. It's less crowded and the music still plays through speakers, though you'll lose some projections on the castle facade. When you stand in Fantasyland, you'll feel like you're floating among the fireworks. The sky erupts above, giving you a 360-degree experience. This secret also has a strategic advantage. The hub often fills up an hour before showtime. By contrast, Fantasyland and the areas near Enchanted Tales with Belle remain relatively uncrowded until minutes before. After the show, you can walk straight toward the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or exit through the Liberty Square Bridge, avoiding the congested bottleneck at Main Street. If you have little ones who hate shoulder-to-shoulder crowds, or you're me and you hate those too, this tip could save your sanity. Just remember that if projections are your priority, the front view is still the way to go. But for an immersive fireworks bath, head behind the castle. Number 7, free phone charging is available. Phones have become our park tickets, cameras, magic band, and lightning lane machines. Yet, battery drain is real. Buying a fuel rod battery swap can be handy, but did you know Disney offers free charging spots? Orlando Vacation lists 3 free charging stations in Magic Kingdom, one across from Rapunzel's bathrooms in Fantasyland, one inside Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, and one in the Space Mountain gift shop. These stations let you plug in and either wait nearby or use a free locker to secure your device. The Rapunzel area has decorative tree stumps with power outlets. The Tomorrowland locations have lockers that use your credit card as a key but don't actually charge your card. The card simply acts as a key to lock and unlock the door. Plan Disney corroborates these details, noting free charging lockers at Cosmic Ray's and Space Mountain and USB outlets near the Tangled restrooms in Storybook Circus. Disney Food blog adds that the wooden stumps near the Rapunzel restrooms hide several standard outlets, and there's a quieter charging spot in the Storybook Circus seating area with available outlets. Bring your own cord? They're not provided. Plug in and stay with your phone at the stumps. If using the lockers, slide your credit card to secure the door and return later. While your phone charges, enjoy the Tangled lanterns or catch a ride on Dumbo. Because these stations aren't widely publicized, they rarely have lines. Here's one more charging hack. If you carry a small power strip, you can share outlets with others. It's a great way to make new friends and spread pixie dust. And if your battery is dying during a show, don't panic. Guest services sometimes provides emergency charging if you're polite and patient. Now that we've kept your devices alive, let's talk about a secret you can hear but not see. The hidden audio cue at the Magic Kingdom train station is more than just background noise. It's a direct message from Walt himself hidden in plain sight. Number 8, the secret Morse code message. On your way into Magic Kingdom, listen carefully at the Main Street train station. There's a subtle clicking sound coming from a telegraph. Many guests walk past without noticing, but train enthusiasts know that the telegraph is sending a message in Morse code. According to an article referencing Magic Kingdom's design, the tapping spells out the first part of Walt Disney's opening day dedication speech from Disneyland in 1955. It's a clever way to honor Walt's vision. Another Smithsonian article notes that a telegraph in Disneyland sends a similar message and that ham radio operators once translated the code, discovering that it replicates a portion of Walt's speech in Continental code. While there's some debate about whether the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland messages match perfectly, the intent is the same: to embed Walt's words into the park soundtrack. Knowing the secret turns an ordinary wait at the station into a treasure hunt. Next time you pass under those red bricks, stop for a moment and listen. You'll hear the rhythmic beeps. Imagine Walt standing on Main Street on July 17th, 1955, declaring, "To all who come to this happy place, welcome." It's a moving connection between the past and present, hidden in plain sight. And if you happen to know Morse code, impress your friends by deciphering it on the spot. Speaking of the past, let's jump forward and backwards with an upcoming castle change that feels like a time-traveling makeover. Number 9. Cinderella's castle is getting a Back to the Future makeover. Disney constantly updates its icons, and Cinderella Castle is no exception. After the 50th anniversary celebration, the castle wore rose pink hues and bright gold trim. But Disney announced in 2026 that it will repaint the castle to restore its classic appearance, with a palette of grays, creams, blues, and subtle gold accents. As reported by a theme park news site, the new paint uses high-performance automotive-grade materials to ensure longevity, and the color selection draws inspiration from the castle's earlier look. Imagineers studied concept art and historical photos to capture a timeless feel, while using modern techniques to make the colors pop. You could say the castle is going back to the future, returning to its roots with 21st century materials. Why is the secret relevant? First, it means the castle's appearance will change again soon, so if your Disney vacation is set after early 2026, be prepared to see scaffolding and temporary stage closures. Some stage shows might move or adapt while the refurbishment is underway. Second, this makeover hints at Disney's respect for tradition. After experimenting with bold colors, they're acknowledging fan feedback and returning to a classic palette. It's a reminder that nothing at Disney is truly permanent, and that's part of the magic. If you want to catch the rose gold version one last time, plan your visit soon. On the other hand, if you love the traditional look, this renovation will make your heart soar. Either way, you're witnessing history as it happens. Number 10. There were 2 versions of the Great Movie Ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Before Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, the Great Movie Ride was the crown jewel of Disney's Hollywood Studios. Many guests remember the gangster hijacking in the 1930 Chicago scene, but did you know there were actually 2 versions of the ride? According to the attraction's documentation, there were 2 ride vehicles labeled 1A and 2B. Vehicle 1A would skip the gangster scene and move straight to the western town, where a bank robber, the Bandit character, hijacked the vehicle. Vehicle 2B followed the gangster storyline. Both paths converged later in the ride. Depending on which vehicle you boarded, you experienced a different live show, complete with distinct dialogue and characters. Why did Disney do this? 2 reasons: capacity and variety. By splitting the vehicles, they could dispatch more guests per hour while giving return visitors a fresh experience. It also allowed cast members to play multiple roles. Some guides specialized in the gangster story, while others trained as bandits. If you rode once and were taken hostage by a gangster, riding again might have landed you in a Western shootout. Sadly, most guests never knew there was an alternate version. If you're feeling nostalgic, watch ride-through videos online and see both sequences. They're a reminder of Disney's commitment to live performance, something screens alone can't replicate. And that's the thing about Disney World. The magic isn't just in the rides or the fireworks. It's in the decisions you don't realize are being made for you, the details hidden in plain sight, and the secrets most guests walk right past without ever knowing they were there. Once you start spotting them, the parks feel completely different in the best way possible. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these secrets surprised you the most, or which one are you excited to look for on your next trip? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this gave you that "wait, what?" feeling, hit the like button, share it with your favorite Disney travel buddy, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. There's another video on your screen right now that dives even deeper into Disney's hidden design tricks. Click it and keep the magic going. Your adventure is just beginning.